Hello everyone! So, this is episode 0 of the Let's Play of Star Wars The Old Republic that I wanted to do. So, this, as I said in the last video that I did, this is going to be a secondary series to my RuneScape content. Basically, you guys know me if you've been subscribed to me for a long period of time. If I'm not feeling like playing something, I won't play it, and if I'm not feeling like recording, I won't do it, which is why I go on very long. I make like one video and then go on really long breaks from YouTube, but I'm trying to get a little bit more active again. It's kind of hard to balance school because I'm a junior in college at this point. I'm not really making any income off of YouTube, so it's something that I'm literally doing in my free time for your guys' enjoyment. I'm not really getting any monetary whatever out of this. I'm just doing it for fun. So that's kind of my thing with YouTube. I do it for fun, and I've been having a lot of fun playing this, and I was like, I'm going to be playing this game anyways, regardless of whether I film it or not, and so I figured, hey, why not, let's just film it and, make a video series out of it that you guys can watch. Some people apparently seem to just enjoy listening to me ramble about stuff, because most of my series have been just me talking about random crap, so I figured, hey, a Let's Play is perfect for that. If you're not interested in watching it, don't feel obligated to. I don't really mind. It's more for the people that would be interested. Like I said, I'll still be doing RuneScape content. I'll be doing a Road to 120 Invention, probably a 3-day-a-week series, just because Invention's not really the type of skill that you consistently get XP drops. Rather you augment weapon and, get XP every once in a while, but see, that will probably be a 3-day-a-week. This will probably be 2 days a week. Not including this episode. This episode and probably episode 1 will come out fairly close together, I'm assuming. I haven't obviously filmed episode 1 yet, so I'm not 100% sure. So this is just my account. You get multiple characters on every account. That's just the way it works. I have a number of level capped characters, so I do have a good amount of experience with the game. We're going to be playing a Sith Sorcerer, which is I've played the class before. It's my favorite class in the game, and I wanted to play something that would be fun for me, and so it would be enjoyable for you guys to watch. Because it's one of those things that you can always tell usually when YouTubers are not having fun with what they're playing, whether they're just doing it for the views or for whatever other reason. So I wanted to play something that was fun for me, so you guys could have a more interesting experience when I'm really readily engaged. Because the two classes that I've never played, I'm not really that interested in too much, and they're not really that fun for me. I'm gonna be doing that in my spare time and on my off time. I'm gonna be doing that off camera. So yeah. Anyways, we're just gonna jump into character customization. I'll explain the game a little bit. It's not too complex for those of you who have played other MMORPGs, the stereotypical ones like World of Warcraft, whatnot. So it's nothing really groundbreaking with this game. It's just, in my opinion, fun because I enjoy Star Wars. But yeah, so let's just jump into character customization and we'll just get to it. So pretty much the first thing you do in any game of this style is pick a faction. So there's obviously the Galactic Republic on the left and the Sith Empire on the right. We're going to be playing the Empire character, although I'll leave a link in the description for the homepage of this game if any of you guys want to check it out. It is a free-to-play game, though it's kind of like RuneScape in a way where it's once you get a subscription and you experience the full game, it's really hard to just play it without a subscription. It's like RuneScape membership. You can play the free-to-play game of RS and be perfectly content, but once you get membership and you experience how much more of the game that has been blocked by that subscription or that membership, it's really hard to just go back to the free game. So that's something to be wary of. If you do enjoy the game, it is going to be a game that you're probably going to have to pay for, so that's something to think about. Anyways, let's just pick our faction. The way that this works exactly the same way on the Galactic Republic side. The classes are basically mirrored. Sorry, my garage door is opening, obviously, if you can hear that. Probably can. But, so there's 4 main classes and 2 subclasses per every main class, so there's a total of 8 classes. They're mirrored, so on the Republic side, the classes, the mechanics, and the gameplay are exactly the same, whereas the animations and the titles or the names of the abilities in the class itself are different, but the gameplay is pretty much the same. You get a little bit of a different feel on the different sides just because the animations are different and the feel of the character is slightly different, but the way that you play the character is the same. So obviously, we're going to be playing a Sith Inquisitor. There's also the Warrior, the Bounty Hunter, and the Imperial Agent. The Agent's kind of the military class. The Sith Warrior and the Sith Inquisitor are both obviously Sith Force users, and the Bounty Hunter, I think, is pretty self-explanatory. So the Sith Inquisitor is kind of like the Jedi is the mirror class of the Jedi Con, so they focus more on Force abilities rather than necessarily their combat, which is the Jedi Knight and the Sith Warrior. They do more of the combat melee DPS role, whereas the Sith Inquisitor, you can do melee DPS if you're an assassin, but which we'll talk about right now. So there's 2 advanced classes for every main class. This class happens to have the Sith Sorcerer and the Sith Assassin. So you cannot switch between these. Once you pick it, you're locked into the secondary class. That's not something you can change. But within both of the advanced classes, there are 3 different trees, or skill trees, which you can switch between. So say I want into a Madness Sith Sorcerer, I could respec that into like a Lightning Sith Sorcerer instead if I wanted to. We're going to be playing the Lightning spec because I think it has, in my opinion, it's the most fun to play because playing with Lightning, that's fun. I think it has the best AoE, which is really good for killing trash mobs, so obviously it kind of has, in my opinion, the best feel for leveling. I've tried Madness, I didn't really like it very much. And then on the Sith Assassin, there's the Hatred and the Deception tree. And then the 2 trees on the top for both the Sith Sorcerer has basically a quote-unquote secondary role of healing, and the Sith Assassin is a quote-unquote secondary role of tanking. So that's kind of the holy trinity of MMORPGs. You have your DPS, your heals, and your tanks. So the Sorcerer is a healer as a secondary, so if I were to do group content, which I'm not going to, if I were, I could either be a DPSer or I could be a healer. One of the nice things about the Sith Sorcerer actually is because its secondary role is a healer, you get some off heals and stuff that you wouldn't get on like the Sith Assassin. You get some healing abilities that you can use to self-heal, which is kind of a nice survivability thing. Though your companion in this game does pretty much all the healing for you, and if you're smart about it, you'll probably never die, which, you know, could be construed as a problem to some people, but in my opinion, it's kind of whatever. I've died a number of times in this game, either from like lag or not paying attention or just getting in over my head. I've done that before. It's not as hard as you think it is in this game, but with the tweaks that they made to companions within the last couple of patches, it's actually gotten a lot easier to survive. So we're gonna go into picking your race. So there are, you know, a number of different races. It looks like there's about 12 different races. The way that races work is you have a specific number of races unlocked for each class. So say you have like the human, the Twi'lek, the Zabrak, the Sith Pureblood, and the Cyborg, for example, unlocked for the Sith Inquisitor, and everything else is locked. So you can play as one of like those 5 or 6 classes on a character, and once you get that character to level 50, which is usually when you end your story content and move into the expansions, once you get to level 50, because you got a character to level 50 on your account through a system called the Legacy Tree, you unlock that race for every single character that you can, every single different class. So typically the Mirialan, the Fairer Skinned Zabrak, and the Miraluka, these are Republic characters. But because I've gotten up to level 50 on Republic characters with those races, I can play them on the Sith side instead, or the Empire side. So that's kind of one of those things. Equally, I can play the Ratataki, the Sith, and the Dark-Sided Zabrak as Republic characters because I've unlocked them on other characters. So that's something to keep in mind. I think the only race that I haven't unlocked, I've not played a Twi'lek before because I don't really like Twi'leks, or in the Chiss. As you can see, the Chiss is locked. I cannot play the Chiss on this. I'd have to level it up as a different character that can be a Chiss, which I think is probably like the Bounty Hunter and the Agent. I know for sure the Agent can be a Chiss. I'm not sure about the Bounty Hunter. The Cathar and the Togruta are both MTXs, so they're microtransactions that I bought with cartel coins, which is like the currency, which is kind of like rune coins in RS. You get a complimentary bit of cartel coins every month from your subscription. So I've never actually bought cartel coins, but I get them from my subscription, so I just got those because I wanted to unlock them, because why not? So the race really doesn't have a lot to do with the way you play the character. It's more cosmetic. I mean, you get some social abilities and stuff, but it's not too big of a deal. We're going to be playing a Mirialan. The Mirialan is one of the races that is typically a Republic character, which does play in a little bit to the backstory that I'm going to explain during character customization. So I have thought up a little bit of a backstory for the character. So anyways, let's get into this. and then you pick your gender. Nothing's gender locked in this game, which is nice. We're going to be playing a male character, and the only reason I'm playing a male character is because I don't like the female game models. If I liked the female game models, I would definitely play a female, but I just don't like them very much. I don't think they look that good, and I don't think armor looks very good on them, so we're not going to be doing that.
That's not fear I smell, is it?
Okay, so this is, you get a bunch of sliders. It's nothing too complex or anything. It's got a decent amount of character customization considering, but it could be, you could have more, but it's not too big of a deal. So anyways, we're just going to talk a little bit about the backstory while I kind of figure out my character. So the backstory for this character. At the very beginning of the video, you saw a character. He was a Jedi Sentinel. So he was a character that I have obviously gotten up to about level 64, which is one level under max, I believe. And so I got the and they're the same race. In my kind of weird backstory of mine, they were basically brothers, essentially, is what my kind of weird idea is they're brothers. And so basically they both lived on a Republic controlled world when they were kids, I guess. And they were pretty close as brothers are, I suppose. That's not kind of too big of a deal. But they were close, but then the Empire came in and basically took over their home world. This guy got captured by the Empire and thrown into the mines to be a slave, where his older brother managed to escape, and he went and joined the Jedi. And where we start off this story, the Sith Inquisitor, basically, they found out that he has Force abilities, or he's Force sensitive, so he's sent to Korriban to start training as a Sith. So basically what my kind of weird story is that those two are brothers, and this guy's the Sith, his brother is a Jedi. He kind of is I'm going to play this as a dark-sided rather than, you can play two different ways. You can play a light-sided or a dark-sided. I guess there's three ways. You can play neutral as well. I played my last Sith Inquisitor as a light-sided character, so I kind of wanted to do a dark-sided instead. And that kind of, it doesn't impact the end game, but it does impact some different conversation choices and stuff in the game, but it's not too big of a deal. So basically, like I said, he got captured by the Empire and sent to Korriban after being a slave for a number of years, and that's kind of where we start the story. At the end of the day, I am going to be his brother is a Jedi, and so the Sith are very wary of him because he is obviously from a race that is typically a light-sided race, and his brother is a Jedi, so he has to be really, really dark and like a hard ass about the dark side to kind of prove to everybody that he's not gonna be a light-sider. If you've seen Star Wars 7, I'm not gonna spoil it because I just recently saw it, but if you're gonna compare him to anyone, I would almost compare him to Kylo Ren, just not as wimpy about it. Because Kylo Ren, obviously, he's kind of struggling with the dark side and the light side, kind of, really trying to commit himself to the dark side, but, the light side is, it's alluring at some points, and he's kind of a wimp. So I feel he's kind of like a more impactful Kylo Ren, but he's not as wimpy, because Kylo Ren was a big wimp if you've seen that movie. If not, I'm sorry if I spoiled anything. I shouldn't have it. There's nothing really spoilery about that besides Kylo Ren is a wimp. But yeah, so his name is Vio, sir. We're just gonna nickname him Vio for the entire series. It's easier. It's kind of sometimes hard to find a name in this game because there's just so many accounts that a lot of them are all just taken. But anyway, so that's kind of the backstory and the beginning of the character. So yeah, episodes are probably going to be within 35-40 minutes or so. I didn't want to do super long episodes, but at the same time I didn't want to have really short episodes either because it's really easy to get sucked into this game and just play for a long period of time. So yeah, that's just kind of it. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the series. If you're not interested in it, like I said, don't feel obligated to watch it because I don't really care if you do or not. It's more for people who are interested in it. I'll leave a link in the description to the homepage of Star Wars: The Old Republic in case you are curious about the game, if you want to try it out. But other than that, yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you later. Thanks. Bye.